Next, I want to talk about bringing in a new database into an existing project. A lot of times the database will change as you're doing graphics, so it's important to be able to bring in a new version and also compare it against the previous version to find out what's changed. So I'm going to go back to my project list, and I've got several pillar versions here. I'm going to bring in a new project. It's actually going to be the same as this pillar version 11, but I'm going to bring it in as a new project and then compare it to version 10. So first thing I'm going to do is create a new project. Call this pillar version 12. And you can bring in multiple projects different ways. You can stack them on top of each other using the same name, or what I like to do is create a version for each one, and so there's only one archive database per project with a specific version. So I'm going to create that and then select it and come over here and import the new project. So pillar. So it's going to go through and import this, and I'll come back to you after it's done. Okay, now my pillar version 12 database has imported successfully. The next thing I might want to do is migrate settings from a previous version over to this version. This will take your binding settings, any system groupings that you've created for a previous project, and move them over to the same systems on the version 12 project. So I'm going to do that now. Go to project, let's see, archive, migrate settings, and I'm going to select the one I want to migrate from, version 10, and select the archive for that underneath that project, which is only one, and that'll copy all the settings over to your currently selected project, version 12. Okay, we've successfully migrated the data across. Now we have our new pillar version 2, which 12 I mean, and we can see that, but that didn't really tell us what's changed. So my next step is compare databases. So I'm going to come up here to compare to project, and I'm going to compare version 10 to the current archive. And right now it's comparing both databases, all the points and objects, and finding out what the differences are. So it brings up a new comparison results tab, which is color coded. You can see that down here the original archive is the beige color and the current is green. And I can go down here and see all the changes. And what has changed. So I expand this out. This change flags tells me what has changed. So all these green ones, in this case the name has changed, which doesn't really affect binding. And you can come down here and there's some new items added. See, they're brand new compared to the other database, and these were deleted. I can export this to Excel to do further analysis if I want to do sorting and filtering in Excel, or I can use the grouping feature and the grid functionality in the tool here to kind of slice and dice the data. So I can, by dragging the change flag column up to the grouping area, it groups everything by the change flag. So I can, there's all my deleted points that I can see between version 10 and 12. Here's all my new items, and I can click on these and go to the tree view. And you could even drill down and filter even more by using some of the filtering features of the grid. I can group by object class as well, so all these new items I can find out, okay, how many new AIs do I have? So there's my new AIs in this new database, new analog alarm values, which I'm not going to use, but AOs. So you get the idea. You compare the databases and you can figure out what changed and make adjustments to your graphics. And obviously you want to revalidate your graph. Also, I wanted to point out something. After you do the database compare against another previous database, any item that is changed will be flagged as red, as you can see here. This VFD, there was an auto mode point that changed. And what changed was the states. So anywhere we see red in the tree or in the points list indicates points that have changed. Here's a bunch of them here. And in this case, all of these changes were names. In one case, the states was changed. So that wouldn't necessarily affect your graphics, but it does visually show you what has changed from the previous.